All right, good morning, everyone. This is lesson 5 in our equation unit. So the learning target is I can write and solve two-step equations. So what we're going to do with these two-step equations, we're going to solve them for x, of course, and then we're going to look at word problems that relate to these equations. So the first thing we're going to do is do these two without the word problems. First thing I notice is that 3/8 on the outside. We did this last week with a 1/2, and we're using distributive property. So over to the side, I'm going to multiply 3/8 and 16. So I'm going to say negative 3/8 times 16 over 1. Multiply straight across, that's going to give me, oh, that's negative 16 over 1. It's going to give me a 48 over 8. Again, multiplying two negatives gives me a positive. That is going to equal, I won't divide the page up, a 6x for that first term. Positive 6x. Now I've got to do negative 3/8 times 8. Negative 3/8 and over 8 over 1. I forgot to mention that. That is a negative times a positive. That is going to give us a negative 24 over 8. And that is going to be a 3. So I'm going to put an S3 does not have an x. Now I'm ready to solve. Again, I want to go to this second arrow. Negative 3/8 times 8 over 1. Negative 24. Positive 8. That is a minus 3. There is no x for that second term. And then I just do two-step, plus 3 on both sides. Trying to get x by itself. That is our goal always. Careful here. That is negative 42. We talked about that a lot last week. Divide by 6. And then our final answer is going to be x equals negative 7. And earlier I plugged in negative 7 for x, went through all the steps, and it did equal negative 45. I'm not going to do that today. So that's problem 1. Problem 2 is similar. You've got distributive property. You've got a 2/9 this time. So I'm going to come over here and do some side work. Negative 2/9 multiplied by 36 over 1. That gives me a negative 72 over 9. I'll divide the page up. This right here equals a negative 8. So negative 8x is going to be my first term. The second arrow, negative 2/9. Times 27 over 1. That is a negative 54 over 9. Let me stress again, be very careful with your negatives. Negatives times a positive. We talked about that a lot last week. This right here is going to equal negative 6. And again, that term does not have an x. So now I'm down to my two-step. Plus 6. Negative 8x equals 32. Divide by negative 8. Positive divided by negative is x equals negative 4. And again, earlier I plugged in negative 4 for that x, went through all the steps, and it did equal 26. So those are two problems with fractions involved. Now we're going to the word problems. Now there's two types of word problems. You'll see on assessments. One where the word problem is given the information, but it gives you the equation. The other ones will be you won't have the equation. So let's look at this one. Nate and two friends spend $22.85. That is your total spent on movie tickets and popcorn that cost $6.35. Use the equation below to determine the cost of one movie ticket. Now, what we got to first find out is Nate is one person, and then he's got two friends, so that's a total of 3 people. There's your 3x right there. What is this $6.25? It's the popcorn. And why is it only there once? Because they bought one tub of popcorn between the 3 of them. So the 3x represents the 3 friends. $6.35 represents the popcorn. They bought one, and then the $22.85 is the total. So let's read the question again. Use the equation below to determine the cost of one movie ticket. That is your X. So let's run through it. Opposite of 635. And then this is going to cancel. I'm going to end up with 3x. I've already done this in the calculator. 1650. And then I'm going to divide by 3. And x will equal $5.50. Now what is that? That is the movie ticket. And how many is that? That's one movie ticket. Okay, so the next one, the equation's already given also. Let's read through the situation. 10 graphic novels have a total value of $75. That's going to be your 75 right here. Each of the graphic novels collected increased in value by $3.50. This one's a little bit different. I'm going to circle this entire phrase right here. Increased means add. There's your $3.50 right there. Use the equation below to determine the original value of each novel if they have the same value. So here's your 10. There's your 10 novels. $3.50 is the value increased and a total value of 75. The X is the original value of the movie. Of the book. So we're going to distribute property. 10x plus 35 equals 75. 10 times x, 10 times 3.5. I'm going to subtract 35 from both sides. And I end up with 10x equals 40. Divide by 10. Running out of room here. X is going to be 4. So what is 4? The original value of each novel. So again, the equation on these two was given to you from the information. The next page, we're just going to do a couple of these. The equation is not given. We have to come up with the equation. So I'm going to do the first one. And probably a couple of more. It says Manuel is hosting a party. He hires a caterer to prepare the dinner. The caterer charges flat fee of $16 plus $8.25 per person. That's that key right there. Manuel pays the caterer $131.50. There's your total. How many people are at the dinner party? So let's go through it. Per person tells me that's going to be next to the X. Flat fee means one-time fee. And how much total is it? $131.50. Let's go through that again. Let's go backwards. Here's my total. The cost of the dinner party, $16 is a flat fee. There's your one-time fee. Also plus $8.25 per person. That's next to the X. Okay, so my X is going to be the number of people at the party. So minus 16 from both sides. 8.25x, and I subtracted this in the calculator and got $1.15.50. Then I'm going to divide by 825. And when I put that in the calculator, x is going to be 14. And that is 14 people. Okay, so there's the first equation. Our first word problem, I'm sorry, without the equation. Let's go down here to the third one. This is again the party scene. Manuel rented four tables for his party. He used a coupon to get $5.50 off. That's key right there. and the cost off the cost of each table. He spent $70. There's your total. So let's run through the equation. This one's a little bit different. 4x is the number of tables because the original cost is your x. This is going to be a minus 550 because you're taking off the coupon, and he spent a total of 70. The key is 550 off. That is a minus 550. So this time we're going to do a plus 550 on both sides. Let's see. Ooh, I did that wrong on my paper. This is 75.50. So I've got to do 75.5 divided by 4. That's going to be 1875. I'm sorry, 1885. 1887. Okay, so that's how much the tables cost to rent. I'm going to do that in the calculator real quick. Yeah, that's where that works. Each table costs $18.87. Okay, let's do one more here. I know we're doing a lot here, but this covers pretty much everything in this unit, this lesson. It says Manuel hired a cleaning crew this time. The crew charged a flat fee of $55 plus $8.75 per hour or an hour. That also means per. The total cost is $11.25. So let's set it up. It's going to be $18.75 per hour. Flat fee, you got to pay it, of $55, and the total was $111.25. So let's run through it again. This is the per hour. This is the flat fee. There's no X next to 55. This is the total. So we're going to do minus 55 on both sides. And that's going to equal $56.25. And then I'm going to divide by 1875. And X is going to come out to an even 3. Now what does that 3 mean? How many hours they worked. The cleaning crew. So those are your different examples of your word problems.